In this episode, I have the pleasure of chatting with Kelvin Ha. Kelvin is the founder and director of Two Monkeys Agency, a video production company specializing in corporate video production, live streaming, event photography and coverage, cinematic production, and video editing. The chat I had with him was actually really quite amazing as he shares his experience of not only running one of Perth's most successful video production agencies, but also how his experience and background in other parts of the media landscape and across multiple continents has shaped who he is today. So, without further ado, do enjoy this episode of The Way With Cheech Foo featuring Kelvin Ha. Well, hello, Kelvin.
Hi, Cheech. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, thanks for coming on the show.
No worries. It's fun, yeah.
Yeah, so how's things? How you been?
2024, new year.
Yeah.
Everything looks different from last year now. So, yeah, been pretty good. We started the year off pretty well.
Yep.
Yeah, we did things we've never done before.
What are some examples? Yeah, share from. Like, you've been really busy last time I talked to you.
Yeah. Well, we just live stream broadcast the sailing regatta.
Yep.
So that's something that we've never done. Yeah. Not that we don't know how to do it, we just didn't have the opportunity. So we just did that in the second week of this year. So ticked one thing off the list now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is that like an annual race, or which race is that one?
It's the Rumble in the Reach.
Rumble
in the Reach in the Swan River, just at East Freo. Was good. The wind could have been stronger. As it was, it's fine. Yeah. Our challenge was all our cameras on the event were not cable, they were all wireless. Just because of the distance. The distance of coverage. So not too difficult challenge, but still challenging nonetheless. Because in any multi-camera broadcast situation, you want to have at least one camera that's cabled, right? Because if the airwaves go wrong or something, they drop out, you still have one.
Got it.
Yeah.
So for a kind of a security purposes.
Fallback, fail safe, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In what we do, we always build redundancy into everything.
Always a backup.
Always a backup, always a redundancy. Something will happen inadvertently, whether, humidity and heat can have an effect on radio transmissions.
I did not know that.
Yep, you wouldn't know until it happens to you, right?
Okay. But under what circumstances has that happened before?
High heat, high humidity.
Okay.
Yeah, if you ask the marine rescue guys, they'll tell you that sometimes under certain weather conditions, their radios don't work as well. Yeah, they still work, but not as good as on a good clear day.
Right. That's fantastic.
That's the reason. I mean, the humidity, atmospherics all play an important role. That's why, when they built those radio satellites to listen to the stars, they built them out in the desert in WA.
Less distortion,
less atmospherics, less human things that can interfere. No,
that makes sense. That's the square kilometer array.
The square kilometer array, that's the one. But even not just atmospherics, but even mobile phones. Like, you go to an empty venue or location in the morning when no one's there.
Yes.
You test your comms, you test your wireless range.
Yes.
Everything works fine. After 40,000 people come in, all of them with mobile phones, some of them have two, so you're looking at maybe 50,000 mobile phones there.
Yes.
Jams up everything.
I will be one of those culprits.
Yeah, you get a lot of interference, yeah.
And actually, talking about stadiums, right? This is actually something that you've done before, like as part of your broadcasting career, right? You've actually done, events where there's a lot of people, a lot of guests, right? So, would you share a little bit more about that part of your
just at the start of this year, first week of the year, I worked on a concert, a music festival, Wildlands Festival in Claremont.
Yep.
38,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. I think if you include the staff, the security, people like us, easily 40,000, I reckon. The F&B catering and all that, yeah. So that was pretty big.
So for those who are not familiar with this line of work, right, because most people, I would say, and myself included, right, the only exposure I have to video is the video that I have on my phone, maybe like a simple camcorder, right? Nothing as complicated as that. What are some of the things that, may be unique to your line of work that perhaps no one else would be able to experience. Yeah. So, so you talked about obviously humidity is one thing. What are some other kind of aspects of your work that does pop up, right? That no one knows about, but actually happens all the time.
All the hard work that goes behind a single shot you see on TV or on your phone, yeah.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of work that goes on behind that.
Yes.
The problem, it's not a problem. The craft, our craft, is to remain invisible. So when people watch something and they don't notice us, they don't notice our hand, then we've done our job. So that when people come in, I remember once one of the clients came to see a shoot, right?
Yes.
And she said, "My gosh, I didn't know you do so much work." So the more invisible we are in the final product, then we've done our job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like behind the scenes, right? Not getting in the shots way.
No, it's not that. Like this podcast, how long do you spend organizing it?
Takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work. You got to do research, find out as much about your subject as you can.
Yes.
Yep. You got to know everything in the top of your head. That takes time.
It does.
Same thing we do.
Yes.
Yeah. So, for example, if you wanted to film this podcast, we'll sit down in the office and we'll think, okay, what do we need to achieve? And then you put it all together, and then someone's got to direct it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to direct it.
Yep.
And the best directors are the one whose work you don't notice. People like us can see, we can tell. But the best directors are the one whose work you don't see at all. So that everybody, the audience watching it, thinks like it's happening by magic.
Wow. Yeah. So actually, like, you kind of touched on a really interesting point, right? As they say, it takes a village to raise a child. Yep. Similarly, I would think that it takes an entire team to put together a broadcast.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, first of all, is that something that you agree with? And second of all, like, what type of team is required to put on a show like, for example, the Wildlands, right?
We just play a small part in festivals.
Okay.
The part we play is this small.
Okay. Yeah? All right.
We're not the organizers.
Yes.
We're not the, we just come in, do the job, go home. All right. It's just our service. It's a service thing. But if you're looking at a festival, right, music festival.
Sure.
And I can't speak from experience because I've never organized one.
Yes.
But you're looking at a whole heap of people. And that stage that you see, that stage will cost, the staging, the sound and all that will easily be about $1 million.
Right.
Yeah. So something like, let's say, if you look at something like this, that's $1 million to put together.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. So that's the Wildland setup.
No, this was something different. That was something else.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but yeah, you've got lights, sound, and big screens and all that.
Correct.
None of which we do.
Okay. So
that's not our business. Yeah.
So you're purely in just the video aspect, right? When you're offering.
Yeah. So our business, we actually have several different aspects. The first product we offer is video production.
Yes.
So we produce videos. It used to be people come to us and say, yeah, we need a video on this, on that, about us, or promos or something. Nowadays, we get calls, I need a reel. I need a 40-second reel. Yeah, sure. We do that as well.
Would you have got that question 5 years ago?
No.
You think?
No, not at all. And this would have been in the last 18 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Reels are the thing now. Yeah.
Yep.
And, you would think that, again, this is the invisibility aspect of what we do. A reel should be simple, but it's not. You've got to craft the message. You've got to think of the story. Even if it's 30 seconds, you need a story. If you go on TikTok now, you see a lot of good content, but there's also a lot of, I wouldn't say bad, but you kind of wonder what's going on.
Yes.
Where's this leading? What are you trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, there's plenty of good stuff. Yeah. Plenty of good stuff. So when we get asked to do a reel, we have to sit down, brainstorm and think, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
And okay, I know what you want to say. What do you have to help us show, to tell that story for you? Yeah.
So kind of that touches on obviously the importance of the creative aspect, right, versus the production aspect, right? What is your mindset, your take, your philosophy on that kind of two schools, right? What is more important, right? How do you view, right, those aspects when it comes to video?
the only limit to your dreams is the size of your wallet. Because the more complicated it is, it needs more time. More time means more money, more resources. So it's how many wallets do you have?
How deep is that wallet?
How deep is that wallet? Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I don't want to make it sound like it's all money, but if you've got a creative idea, you need money to pull it off. Nobody works for free. And we're a business, we don't do things for free. Yeah. So dreams need to be fueled by some kind of funding. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you need to fund your dreams. And that's something that we also think of, like, sometimes clients come to us, they want to do certain things, and we say, okay, this is a big, you've got a big target audience and all that, and your demographics quite narrow.
Yep.
I think it would lend itself to sponsorship from some of these people who are selling things to your audience.
Absolutely.
So we sometimes help with that.
Great.
So you've got to fund it. You've got to fund the dream.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, I mean, this is maybe a slightly different industry, but one that a lot of our listeners can relate to, right?
Yep.
Which is the business of movie making.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Specifically Hollywood. Right? So everyone knows how much it costs to make a film.
Yep.
Right? So I get it. I get it. Yeah.
So if you've got 35 million in Hollywood, you probably won't even, after you pay Tom Cruise, you probably only have like less than a third of that left.
Fair enough. He's not cheap.
No.
He's not cheap. So talking about dreams and talking about, things that, I guess one can imagine and create, right? I do believe that your love of video and I guess your involvement in this industry in one form or another has actually been long in the making. Can I ask whether you can kind of take us back to where it all started, and you can pick whatever moment in your life that was? I would be very interested to find out. So with our listeners, thank you.
Find out about where I started from and all. Yeah.
Exactly, where you started from, right? If you want to share a little bit about how you grew up, because I know that you actually immigrated to Australia. That's correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it all started when I was in uni.
Okay.
Yep. I studied theatre. I was a theatre student.
And where were you at this time?
I was in Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in Singapore. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the theatre scene is the same anywhere in the world.
Yes.
It's the same anywhere in the world you go.
Yes.
70% of the time you're unemployed.
I did not know that.
Yep. Go to the cafe. Ask the person serving you, are they an actor?
Yes. I understand.
Yeah, so theatre practitioners, the lucky ones go from one production to another. The others knock on doors 70% of the time and work 30% of the time.
Okay.
And I think that's where you start off, and in any industry, because there are very few jobs. A full-time job is something that people in that industry, and a lot of the industries that we work with, cannot imagine. Most of it is by choice.
Okay.
A lot of the freelancers we engage in the creative industry don't want to be tied to a job.
They want to kind of move around.
More experiences.
Yeah?
Variety of projects.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I studied theatre, and then...
If you don't mind me asking, before we kind of continue that theatre, right? Were you passionate about, or did you start to become interested in film before you actually started studying theatre?
Oh, yeah, of course. Always wanted to be in film, but then...
Did you pick up a camera when you were young? Like for example, were you already playing with cameras? Or...
Nah, couldn't afford one.
Couldn't afford one.
Couldn't afford one.
Very expensive back in those days.
No, it's either... I don't know whether it's very expensive or I just didn't have the money. I think for yourself, 10 years ago, $20 isn't what it is today, right?
Oh, no, it is not.
Yeah. So when you're younger, even $100 seems an impossible goal.
Impossible goal.
And I can't remember how much the cameras were back then. But no, it was just too expensive.
Too expensive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Couldn't afford one.
Yeah.
So I saw theatre and I thought, oh, cool.
Very cool.
Realize your dreams there.
No, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really fantastic. And how was studying theatre at that time? So which university did you go to?
In Singapore.
Yeah. Was it NUS?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. How was that experience? How was it being a theatre student, right, back in the days? right? In US.
I guess
Share
if
a
you
little
look
bit
at
more.
your if you look at your what do you call it, timetable, pretty blank.
Okay.
And again, those are just contact hours, right?
Yes.
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 But before you go in, you've got to practice, you've got to rehearse, you've got to do so much prep work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not the timetable is not reflective of the work involved, of the commitment and
Course.
yeah,
Of course.
commitment and work involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty much like our life as well, you know. A client will say, "Oh, I've got a job. It's only 2 hours. It's 2 hours to you,
Yeah. Not to us.
not to us."
Yes.
Yeah. We've got to think about how to pull your project off,
Of course.
right? We've got to prep it.
Mm.
We've got to set up. After 2 hours, we've still got to take everything away, go back. It's like cooking.
Yeah.
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 You want to cook something?
Yeah.
You need ingredients, so you go shopping. Oh, first you got to plan.
Yeah.
You write your shopping list, plan what you want to cook, go shopping, come back, prep, then you cook, then
Yes.
you eat, right?
Yes.
But after the eating, you still have to clean up.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You have
Very
to
much the
clean
same.
up.
But when you
Yes.
invite people to your dinner party,
Mm.
only 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't see the rest. And I think, a true professional, right, is all about the outcome.
Yep.
It's not what you do. It's actually what they experience at the end.
Correct. Absolutely. So we don't really work on an hourly rate or hourly basis. We look at the outcome of the project.
Yes.
Yep. Sometimes we put in more than what we charge.
Yes.
And that's just the way it is. So we get smarter. If another request come again,
Yep.
similar, we'll price it appropriately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, always in business, there's always a bit of give and take,
Correct.
as with all things,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
okay. So once you graduated from theater,
Yep.
right? What was your next course in your life? Did you get a job into theater or
No, never ever worked in. I can't. It's not true that I never really worked in theater because when I was in uni, I did a couple of jobs here and there,
Yes.
but I was still a student.
Yeah.
So those jobs funded my lifestyle.
Hey,
Right.
very good.
What also happened was, I think in my final year, I did an attachment with a TV station,
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
A local station
local
or
TV station over there, and they were producing the first sitcom
what's the name of that sitcom?
Under One Roof.
Oh my. I used to watch that show.
You used to watch that.
I used to watch that show. I think when it was airing on SBS late at night.
Yes, 11
Right.
p.m. Yep.
Wow.
The
Love
ratings
it.
were really good. It rated really well on SBS.
I loved it. I must say. Who's that? There was a lot of different iconic characters, but there's one where he was like a really burly man with the glasses, right? Who was he again?
Moses.
Moses.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember Moses. Great character. Great character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you were attached to that. So explain a little bit more. That must have been very exciting.
Well, it's just work experience. Work experience. I can't remember what I did. I think probably props or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But that lasted a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
Yep.
And then I said, I don't care about theater anymore.
That was your one and done, as they
That's
say
it.
with theatre.
That's it.
Did you get starstruck by any of the
No.
celebrities?
Yeah, I mean,
Nope,
I didn't really know who they were back then. Except for Moses, the rest were not unknowns, but the industry then. Well, let's just put it this way.
Yes.
That show made them famous.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It
Yes.
was their it was their moment.
It was the moment, it made them famous. So I didn't know them because I went in before the first series even launched.
Oh, so you're saying you were there for the pilot, even like the very
I
first
missed
episode.
the pilot, but I think I was there for the production of the series,
I
the first
see.
season. So everybody was unknown.
Yep.
Yeah, they were working on other stuff before that, but generally nobody knew them.
Right.
Yeah, and it was the series that made them famous.
Yeah. Wow. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I finished the what do you call it, work experience. Yep. Said I'm gonna work in TV now.
So that was the
Yeah, so I applied for a
bit of
job.
a switch. Okay.
Applied for a job as a scriptwriter.
Yes.
Went for the interview, and then I think I got a letter saying sorry, you've been unsuccessful. And I thought, okay, maybe let's see what I can do. Go teach speech and drama again. And then the next day I got a call
Yes.
saying, oh, you had an interview with us last month or something. I said, oh yeah. okay, we didn't want you as a scriptwriter, but do you want to be a producer?
Oh.
So yeah, went in, did props.
Okay. So one could say that you kind of fell into it in a little bit in a way. Like it wasn't what you planned, but it turned out that one of your first opportunities that you were offered is producer role.
Yes.
Wow.
I think around that time, this was I think Friends had just started, so it must have been the late 90s. No, sorry, mid to late 90s. Friends was my favorite sitcom back then. Sitcoms were really popular in the 90s.
Yes.
Not now. Friends was a really big inspiration. Yeah. And I wanted to do something like that. So
got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, dream came true.
No, it's great. Like I think Friends, like they still have the reruns right now.
Yeah.
In almost all the platforms.
Yep.
Streaming platforms, right? So yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. So tell us a little bit more about the producer role. So what does it mean to be a producer in Singapore?
There's many different definitions as well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. They said the role was a producer, but basically I was just doing props.
and what is props? Like, because I'm not from this world. So what do you mean when you say props? Because you mentioned it quite a few times.
Give me a scene.
Yeah.
Describe a scene.
Let's say, for example, you have the scene where you have Lord of the Rings, right? Okay. And then they are looking to storm Minas Tirith, which is the very last city, right, for Return of the King. That's the scene.
Okay. That's all. No, well, that was done with probably computer graphics, CGI. Yeah. Oh, I talk about props. I'm thinking like, okay, so we're gonna shoot a shot.
Yes.
Where you come out of this office with a cup of coffee, right? You cross the road and go into your car and drive off. Okay. So the props are your cup of coffee. Yes. Yeah. Your watch. Yeah. Your ring. Yeah. Your bag. Yes. The car. Right. Your car keys that you take out of your pocket to unlock the car. Those are all props.
So it's all like the accessories, the objects, right? The items.
Yeah, cups. Yeah.
So pretty much anything but the talent, but the actor, actress itself. Is that that's a prop?
Of different things. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have extras.
Yes. Extra bodies around.
Extras. Yeah.
Yes.
They're not props.
They're not props, right? They're called extras. Yeah. Okay. Right. So what was your responsibility then? So you said you're in charge of props, right? What does that actually mean? Like on a daily basis?
So you get a script.
Yes.
Back in the day, it was really good. You get a script that was finalized probably the night before on a Monday. So Sunday night, somebody must have finalized the script, printed all these copies. You look at it, you break it down. Like what I told you. You exit the cafe, the office with a cup in hand. Right. Cross the street and go to your car. Got it. So come up with a list of props. Yes. Go look for the props.
So you like literally physically go around and find the props for.
Well, they have in a TV station. They've got a prop store.
Okay.
They've got a prop store. Yep. So you put in a requisition request. I see. For a laptop. I need a laptop. Yep. For this one shoot for whatever day. Yeah. Then the question comes back: does it need to work? No. It's just a prop.
It's gonna stay closed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Food's a prop as well.
Food's a prop.
Yep. Cutlery, all these are props. So you have to think through the scene. But we have rehearsal, so we rehearse it through. And you work out all the things you need. Yeah. Send in the requisition. Things that the store doesn't have, you got to go look for them yourself.
You go to procure it, right?
Yeah. Well, not procure. You phone, beg, go down on your knees and say, I'll give you a credit. I don't have any money. I'll just give you a credit at the end.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so interesting.
Yeah, which is good actually because you remember those first colorful iMacs? Yes. The TV shaped ones that came in green, purple, red, blue, and all that. Yeah. After I left the station, I produced my own series. Yep. And needed computers. Yes. So I rang Apple. Yep. Apple back in '99 wasn't the same Apple it is today. Yep. The iMacs had just come out, the really colorful ones. I said they look really great. They're going to look really great in this series that we've got. It's all about teenagers, you know? Yeah. I got 5 empty shells and 1 working one.
So you actually requested for shells only from Apple?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Because you don't need to see the screen.
You don't need the inside.
You just see the talent typing.
Yes.
Yep. And the screen can be, the shot of the screen could be from the one that's actually working. keyboard, fingers on a keyboard, doesn't have to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. How about food? So you mentioned just about food, right?
Yep.
Like, are all the food, are they all fake or they're real? How
Real.
is food treated
Well,
as a prop?
tell you a story.
Please.
I actually produced a cooking show once.
Hey.
So we produced it on a Friday night.
Yep.
Again, we didn't have a set for that. It wasn't that kind of a series where we had money to build a set and get everything in. So we went to a kitchen showroom. We said, can we use your kitchen for this series? And they were really happy.
Great.
They said, can we come in as a sponsor? I said, yes. Okay, so we'll come in on Monday morning, 9 a.m. They said, hold on. We're a showroom. We do business from 9 to 5. Sorry, 9 to 9, actually.
9 to 9.
Yeah. So you can only come in at 10 or 9:30.
Okay.
So we did. It was an overnight thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we finished cooking. We finished the series on Friday night, that particular episode. And then Monday we're in editing. Yep. And then the editor says, where's the close-up of a particular dish, a pasta dish? And we look, say, oh, I forgot to take it. We forgot the shot of the final shot.
Oh, no.
So he called the production coordinator and she says, I threw it out in the rubbish. So we go to the rubbish, we open the lid, and there it is. The pasta.
Okay.
It's all slimy and with maggots crawling all over it. It only takes because of the humidity, the maggots grow real quick.
Real quick. Yeah.
So she salvaged it. She took it all out, laid it on the plate, removed the maggots.
Yeah.
Put the lights on, took a shot of it.
Yeah.
That was the best looking dish ever.
Oh, really? So it still managed to retain, some form of shape of the pasta.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely,
wow.
yeah. But it looked really appetizing.
On camera?
Yeah, on TV. It looked
wow.
really appetizing. Yeah, it looked really nice. And, you know how food looks good when it's always shiny? So, prop again.
Whatever works, right? Whatever makes the shot, right? Yeah.
Well, we needed it because the chef, the person who cooked it, wasn't around anymore.
Oh, here's gone.
Yeah. So we needed to do that, yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's so cool.
So food is real. The food is real.
The food is real.
The quantity may not be because, let's say you're feeding party of 10, right?
Yeah.
You got a whole spread there.
Yes.
So you expect a full heaped plate of food.
Yep.
It's hardly ever that much food because you take a small bowl, put it on a plate, and arrange your food over it. So you use less food.
Yeah. So for example, we do some F&B hospitality, right? And when we shoot food, especially with the dishes, right? Like say, for example, you have a bowl of the noodle soup.
Yep.
People think that whole bowl is actually full of noodles. Nope. It's actually incorrect. There's like a little ceramic bowl that sits inside, right? Just to create that shape.
And
how
also
do you feel?
You have that moisturizing spray that you apply to the food before you shoot it. It makes it look nice, Yes. Which is what the maggots did for us.
So they did that. That was a byproduct of munching away.
Decomposition.
Thank you very much, maggots. Good job.
It looked really good, yes.
Wow. And now, a quick word about our sponsors, Rumble Boxing St. Leonard's. Are you looking to get fit and healthy while having lots of fun? Wanted to always try boxing but felt intimidated by the serious-looking traditional boxing gyms? Or perhaps you have tried those random outdoor boxing classes but found them boring and sometimes infested with mosquitoes? If that's the case, I am pleased to say that Rumble Boxing St. Leonard's in Sydney is perfect for you. Located just a few minutes walk from the St. Leonard's station, experience the dynamic fusion of boxing and strength training at their new state-of-the-art studio. Their fitness boutique offers invigorating group workouts suitable for all fitness levels. Immerse yourself in the world of boxing-inspired fitness as they seamlessly blend the art of boxing with the transformative benefits of strength training. In each 10-round class, you'll embark on an explosive journey, engaging in a full-body workout that includes high-intensity interval training, metabolic conditioning, and a mix of strength and cardio circuits. I personally have tried this workout, and I gotta say, it was intense, but also immensely enjoyable, and the concept is so fresh. With easy-to-follow classes, top-notch trainers that double up as DJs as they blast the latest beats, as well as no lock-in contracts. What are you waiting for? And what's more, for all you special fans listening in, I am happy to announce that if you mention our podcast to the lovely team at Rumble Boxing St. Leonard's, you will not only score a free trial, you will also receive a complimentary 45-minute stretch and mobility session, as well as a technical training program to improve form and performance. But remember, There are limited spots left, so get down to Rumble Boxing St. Leonard's as soon as you can. Together, let's be real, let's be powerful, and let's do it all with some style and grace. With Rumble Boxing St. Leonard's. And now, back to the episode. Okay, so that's actually very clear. So awesome. Thank you so much for kind of sharing those stories, right? I think very, very straightforward to understand now what a producer does and what props do.
There's also wardrobe.
Okay, so wardrobe is like clothing?
So I moved from props to wardrobe and all that, right? So
I was about to ask, yes. Yeah.
Well, in a script, the script can take place over one day. It can take place over a couple of days. Do you wear the same clothes every day?
Nope.
No.
Nope. My wife will complain.
Yep.
Like, you know, so.
Yep. So even in TV land, you need a semblance of reality there. So day one, you're in a black shirt. Day two, you're in a white shirt.
Yes.
So someone's got to keep track of that. Right? When we're shooting a scene, hold on, this is day three. Day three, then you compare, cross-check if your list. Oh, day three, you're in a blue shirt. Wrong shirt, change.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's interesting
That
because
is very interesting.
very often we shoot out of sequence.
Right.
So sometimes that's at this door. So we've got 13 episodes. Let's shoot all the scenes that happen at this door this way over that 13 episodes. So,
okay.
and if you make a mistake, we'll have you in this scene here going through the door in a grey shirt. And then 2 days later, when we shoot the other side and we mess up, you'll come out in a red shirt.
I see.
So very important, continuity.
Okay. Okay. So actually, that's very interesting. The fact that you would actually shoot all the similar scenes together.
We didn't used to do that. We did that because of money.
Okay. So it was a time-saving, cost-saving exercise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I once produced a series, a 13-episode sitcom in 25 days.
Well, that's very quick.
Yep.
That's less than 2 days per episode.
Yeah, but you do it all together.
Yeah.
10 days in studio for 13 episodes.
Wow.
So instead of paying for 13 studio days, you pay for 10.
Yeah.
You produce 13.
13, is it?
Yeah.
And if you can remember, right, or share with us, like, how much is a studio day? Like, typically speaking.
I can't remember. Probably $1,500
per day.
Yeah, but this was back in 2000s, in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Now it would have been...
No idea.
No idea. Wow.
I don't use studios anymore now. Yeah.
Okay, so you did props and the wardrobe, right? So it feels like you're kind of making your way around the producer kind of end. So okay. So what came after wardrobe for you? Yeah.
I can't remember. I think started directing.
Okay.
The episodes, yeah.
Okay, so that's where you started to get into the directing side of
But
it.
when it comes to directing sitcoms, there's two aspects to it. Yep. You've got to move the pieces you've got to move the actors around.
Yes.
Yep. That's one thing. Then you've got to move your cameras around to capture the action. So you're doing two jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Directing the actors. Yeah. Know where they move, when they come out, and all that kind of stuff. Then you've got 4 cameras.
Yeah.
You got to tell them what to shoot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow. I've got a question for you, Kelvin. You have to answer this honestly. Did you get frustrated at the actors when they could not remember the lines?
No.
Because you see on all these like documentaries and like, you know, stories like, oh my gosh, here we go again. They're shooting for the 10th time. Why can't they remember their lines? Why can't they deliver it right?
We're all human. We're all human, and I think I don't know which year it was.
Yeah.
I realized because we had this particular opening scene where the host had to deliver just a short piece, right? Piece of camera. We went for 54 takes. I still remember 54. The number was 54.
Wow.
And then you go back to the office again and you look at take 1 and take 54, exactly the same. So yeah.
I mean, as the video person, right? Like, you're not the director. Like, at that time, right? Like, you know, is it something that you just have to go through that whole process cycle? Even though at the end it still kind of turned out to be the same.
When I say it's the same, the good take that we eventually used was somewhere before take 10. Right?
Got it.
Because it's just a human thing, you know. And after that, I realized if I don't get it by the third take, you don't get it, you're not going to get it. So call it. Yeah, but back when I was younger, new, I didn't think, I was going for perfection. Right?
Okay.
The way you deliver a line, whether you stop to breathe at the comma, you know, that kind of things used to bother me. So that's why you end up with 54 takes and a frustrated crew and cast.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, you know, after take 3, that's about it. And even when we were shooting live, when we were shooting before a live studio audience, the show starts at 8, must finish by 10. Can't go doing more than 3 takes. 2 takes was the most we did.
Yeah. Have to keep moving.
Have to keep moving. Yeah.
Understand.
And it's okay because, you know, you've rehearsed for the whole week. Yeah. They'll get it right.
They'll get it right.
But it's not just the actors. Cameramen get it wrong as well.
Is that right?
You've got a camera that has to move from this position to that position in 3 seconds. Sometimes he doesn't get there in time.
So he misses a
or
shot.
sometimes the shot's out of focus because, you know, these things do happen. Not always. Very, very rarely, but they do happen. So you tell the actors, oh, let's do it again from your line. Why? What did I do wrong?
No.
Yeah, no, it's just, I think your head was tilted a bit.
Nice one.
They're not gonna listen. They're not gonna hear this, are they?
No. Like, you know, only a few people hear this, like, you know.
Yeah.
So very cool. So directing is kind of your next step, right?
Yep.
So you started to direct. Like, was it still in the sitcom arena, or did you start to kind of
Sitcoms,
broaden
dramas.
out?
I did live events as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All while working for a weekly paycheck. You know.
Yep.
Build your skills there. Then head off into the unknown.
Even into the jungle.
Into the jungle after that, yeah. Without the security of a regular paycheck.
Yes.
Yeah. No medical.
Yeah.
No annual leave.
What safety net, Kelvin? What safety net?
Safety net.
There is no safety net.
You either make it, yeah. But I suppose in some industries, and even back in the day, this was over 25 years ago, you could always go back.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was always there in the back of a lot of people's minds when they leave. But let's say you get made redundant, you know, you can't go back there.
Right.
You're out on your own. You either find another job, if there are any available, or you sink or swim.
Yeah. Yeah. So was that something that you've been thinking of for a while you were, you know, being that corporate employee taking the paycheck? Or how did it come to that point where you decide to kind of, you know, branch off and do your own thing? What was the lead up?
What was the lead up
to it? Yeah.
We were doing a lot of work, and you know, it's not what I wanted to do. I want to have my own ideas. I wanted to do my own ideas, and then I looked around in the corporate space and I said, okay, in order to get that position, I've got to wait for this one to retire, wait for that one to retire, or wait for that person to resign, right? But 3 heads to jump over.
Yep.
Not going to happen soon. They're maybe a couple of years older than me. So they're not going to retire for another few.
They're good.
2 decades at least, yeah.
2 decades at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only way is, it also helped that I was doing a lot of freelance work as well.
At the same time
At
you
the
were
same
corporate.
time, yeah.
Okay.
So people didn't need to know, you know, like,
of course.
basically the employer didn't need to know.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of the freelance work was for corporates and not for rival stations. So that was fine, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, and I had a look at that kind of world and I thought, yeah, I've got to wait another 13 years before this person retires and I can take his position. I might as well just go out. So I did. And then I found a production company that actually produced for us. And they had the resources. And so I sold the series back to the station that I just left.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So you had a production company and you started off. So what was your role? So were you purely just a director at that point in time? So
at that time I had no idea.
You had no idea. Yeah.
Because, you know, when you're working in a TV station,
yes,
you've got a role. You're a director, you're a producer, you're an assistant producer, you're a props man, you're a wardrobe person, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's in a proper paid job.
Yeah.
So when you start out on your own, you don't have the funds to employ all these roles.
You are all
of them.
Hey, now we're talking.
You're the business.
Yes.
You're sales, you're marketing, you're production, you're operations, you're everything.
Hats.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Because you're juggling a lot of things at the same time.
Of course, yeah. Yeah. And roles that you can hire, you hire for fixed terms. But yeah, generally, no.
Wow.
You're on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. And what were some of your first projects so that you kind of got you started, right? When you started to become like, you know...
After I stopped...
correct. Yeah.
Well, we saw a series called Spin. It was about a group of kids, teenagers in a TAFE kind of institution.
Yes.
You know, something like teenage dramas.
Yep.
Yeah. Around that time, there was Felicity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That kind of genre, that kind of feel.
Mm.
Everyone wanted something like that, so we gave them something like that.
Right.
The station bought it, so we produced it, so sold it to them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can just like, share a little bit more. So when you say like, you sold Spin, right? What's that process of like approaching, right? A station, did you say? Yeah. What is that process of approaching them, and how did you get them on board? Because I think that's a very fascinating kind of part of the industry.
You got to know people.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to know the programming manager.
Yep.
Because he knows how many slots he's got to fill over the next 2 years, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
and he also knows the trends, and he knows how to fund it. I mean, he pays us, but he's got to find the money.
So the program manager also.
No, he does. He's not a producer. He gets allocated funds, I believe. That aspect is
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So all we knew was, we can sell to you.
Got it. Yeah. So you kind of approach them with an idea, right? Right. And what form does that take? Is that like
piece of paper?
Like a kind of a concept summary, or
piece of paper?
Okay.
Well, more than a piece of paper, several pieces of paper.
Napkin on a napkin,
nah.
on a pen.
Several pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Emails. Yeah.
Okay.
Emails. PDFs.
Is it just enough for them to get excited? Like, what's the purpose of that first send off?
Well, you've got to show that you've got a concept in mind that you can actually pull off. So you need to introduce what it's about.
Yep.
Cast of characters, story arcs, how it'll play out over the series, 13 episodes, how your plots and storylines play out over there.
Yes.
And I guess from their point of view, who can I sell this to?
Yeah.
I mean, as in airtime sales.
Yeah.
Yep. Because they need to make back their money.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So they'll find, and then they, I don't know, they decide that, okay, yeah, let's invest in this. Yeah. Viable. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Would you say that all the ideas that you successfully sold to stations, right, were they all original, or would you say some of them are actually repurposed from other countries?
Even the Harry Potter series drew from a lot of earlier influences, earlier works, like you mentioned, Lord of the Rings. You've got that aspect there, and a lot of other things. So, but it's original because we created it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We created it, not someone else.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
And we gave it a name, and we named the people. Our stories. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's fantastic. So, over the many years, you must have produced a lot of these different shows. Was there any particular project that stood out to you as something that you were most proud of, or it was most memorable in some way?
The last project I actually produced, and we did this for former criminals. Yeah, it was a project called Turning Point. So it was it was like a reality TV. Was big back then. Yep, still is.
Yes.
This was the start of reality TV, and also we said, rather than, because we were fiction producers, we produce fiction, we script, and scripted series were in danger because everyone wanted to watch Survivor. What is that musical show? Idol.
Idols. Yeah.
There was another series, I can't remember. The Voice, Big Brother. Yep. They were challenging, scripted. So I thought, why fight?
Join the crowd.
So we did a reality, sort of scripted reality kind of thing. We followed criminals that come out from prison.
Yes.
Convicts. We talked about their story. So how the turning point that brought them to crime, which led them to prison. That's all scripted and reenacted. Yep. And then what was the turning point in prison that changed their lives around?
Okay.
Right? So they come out, and then I say, okay, so we know what happened in the past. What about your future?
Yes.
And they say, okay, want to do this, do that. So we had a girl. She was in prison for drugs. I can't remember what she did, but she was in prison. And then today, at that time, she was working in a company, and she was her boss's right hand.
Right.
And she said, well, my boss doesn't know my past. I never revealed it. I didn't tell her. I hid it from her, and she hired me. And now I'm so close to her, she can't run the business without me. But I really need to get it off my chest. So the reality part was, we organized an interview with the boss. We said, we're calling from this show. We want to talk about your business. We heard about what you do and all that. So we set up the interview. And we went there. And then we said, do you know this girl? She said, yeah, I know. You trust her a lot. She's whatever. And then, well, she's got a message for you. And we gave her a tape recorder because the girl had taped the message. And she played it on air on our recording. And she found out
Wow.
that her right hand is a convicted person.
Yeah. And how did that go?
She said it didn't matter. What's in the past is the past. What's important is what I see now. Yeah. So, the usual, she came out from the shadows, they hugged each other.
Okay. So she was around.
She was hiding behind.
She was hiding behind.
Well, she had to be there because it was her company. We organized the interview, so she was there,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
And then there was another guy, he went to prison for killing somebody. So he came out, he became a lifeguard. And his point, the turning point for him for the future was he wanted to apologize to the family of the man he killed on TV, but you can't do that.
Is that right?
You can't do that. You're not allowed to. Yeah.
Why is that?
You're revisiting the same hurt on the family again. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Unless it's consensual, like mutually consensual.
Yes, I know. Like there is a system called restorative justice where they actually bring the offender and the victim together as part of the rehabilitative process. Yeah, that didn't exist.
Okay. So back then, right, there was
but also it's very painful. Like you knock on the door of a woman whose husband was killed by this guy, say 10 years ago, right? And you say now he wants to apologize. Can't do that.
It's too traumatic.
Yeah.
It's
you
too traumatic.
You revisit. I mean, you bring back all the trauma and the pain. Yeah. So he apologized on TV.
Yeah.
On camera. Yeah.
What was it about it? Was it the fact that the stories was just so, how do you say, so real and so raw? Like what made you kind of, select that show as the one
exactly what you said. And also it has got to have entertainment value. Yeah. Because nobody watches TV for
TV's sake.
For the sake of watching TV. They want to be entertained.
Yeah.
If you can do some good along the way while entertaining, isn't that good? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like, especially when it deals with, topics of, society, right? Like, because like these individuals, they live amongst the society every day. Yep. But we don't understand what they go through. Right. So yeah, wow. Yeah, very emotional ride on that one.
Yes, very much, yeah.
Would you say that was probably your last show that you did?
No, it wasn't the last, but one of the ones that, you remember. And it's hard to repeat.
Hard to repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to align a lot of ducks before you can pull off something like that.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be very interested in making sure that this is something that is, I guess, well presented.
Well presented, that's our job.
If that's fair.
Yeah. That's our job. So
Yeah. Wow.
You got to find people who's going to give you the names.
Yeah. Because not everyone is willing to talk.
No.
As well.
No.
I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably approached several people that declined to participate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you watch TV or listen to the radio, how hard is it? This is, it's like going to a dinner party. You just see the food.
Yes.
You eat for 2 hours, you go home. You don't see it before and after. Yeah.
No, fair. Yeah. It's very normal. Yeah, that's consumerism, right?
It is.
Moving on from that, right? And I do believe that was is that still in Singapore? Okay, still in Singapore. Okay. How was that moving from Singapore to your journey here in Perth? As you speak.
It's like taking a fish out of water. I didn't know anybody.
Yes.
I didn't have the right connections, and then I'm in Perth.
Yeah.
Which is 5,000 miles away from the decision makers in Sydney. So,
and why Perth, by the way? Like, if you don't mind sharing, like, why did you pick Perth out of all
just
cities?
lifestyle?
Okay.
Yeah. It's not hectic. It wasn't. It's changed Perth has changed over the years.
Yeah.
Back then it was still. Shops closed at 5. No late night shopping.
Minus Thursdays. Some days are still close at 5.
Yeah.
But I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Different pace, yeah.
Different pace. Okay. And then when you came here, right, did you try to pursue your original line of work? Like all this experience of producing and directing, right? Like is that what you started off with? Right?
Yes. You leave one territory, come to here, but you still have to feed yourself. So I still had like work going on over there.
Oh, so you still had business interests,
Yes.
projects
Yeah,
in
so,
Singapore. Okay.
Yeah, short ones, not long form.
Not long form.
Yeah.
Okay.
So short ones, like I remember Disney had launching a new series. They say we need interstitials. Can you produce it for us? Yeah. Okay. So did that over a weekend. Came back here.
Okay, so you actually physically had to be in Singapore to affect all these. Okay, got it. Yeah. So then like did you slowly move into broadcasting?
No, not here.
Not here.
That whole line of work had to change. It had to change.
Yeah.
So we started going more for corporates, company videos, that kind of stuff, promo kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then sports. I mean, if you really wanted TV in Perth, the only regular work here was in sports.
Sports programming.
So we moved into that, and then you're still working for someone.
Yes.
Right? So what happened was just before COVID, this new thing called live streaming came up that very few people knew how to do.
Oh, yes.
But it allowed smaller organizations, smaller leagues, smaller sporting clubs that just couldn't make it to national TV. It allowed them to connect with their members.
Yeah.
So we jumped in.
Yeah.
You pivot here and there. People use the word pivot during COVID, but we've been pivoting all our lives.
I mean,
in business, you pivot all the time.
Tell me about it, right? Yes.
Doesn't have to take COVID to make you pivot. Market changes, you pivot, right? So we jumped onto that live streaming before a lot of people wanted it, because people didn't really understand how do you live stream to YouTube, for instance. How do you do it?
I mean, to be fair, like 10 years ago, it's unheard of. Like to do something that right? People think that you need to have a full team.
Yep. Well, you still do.
It's really expensive equipment, right?
You still do.
True. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, I think I like to think that it's not the equipment. You watched Top Gun Maverick?
Yes.
What did he say to was it Rooster?
I forgot. Tell me.
It's the pilot, not the plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's very true. The kind of in our industry, you can buy the most expensive camera and all that, but if you don't know how to tell the story, you don't have anything.
Yep.
I used to teach at a university here. I taught cinematography, and we also oversaw some of the student projects. Well, we looked over the student projects, and there was only one good film. I did that for 7 years. There was only one good film that I still remember, because it was a story. It wasn't shot on some fancy camera.
Yes.
Nothing fancy. Very simple story, and it's the best one I've ever seen.
Do you remember that story?
Yeah, it was about was it a girl or a boy? Yeah, a girl looking for a present for her brother. So it's about her journey. I think it told in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Her journey of how she had to go through all these obstacles to get a record for her brother.
Wow.
Brother's birthday, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all about the story, yeah?
All about the story. So same thing with what we do, You could do a podcast on your phone and still make it work. If you have good content. Yes. Of course, there must be a minimum standard. The quality, the technical quality has to be of a minimum standard, but it's all achievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like all about the actual content itself, right?
You don't have content, you don't have anything. Yes. You don't have a story, $100,000 equipment. It's not going to be any use to you.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, all these advice, right? I think it's really helpful, especially when it comes to maybe someone that is a budding or an aspiring, individual that wants to enter the industry, right? Now, I'm just watching the time here. We've run for quite a long time, which is great. I've got to get you back on. It's very interesting. So many more questions. However, as a last question, can you share a couple of tips, like for those who are listening who do want to enter the industry, be it producer, theater, broadcasting, right?
Yep.
Can you leave them with some tips and advice, like on how to go about it from your years of experience? Yeah,
use your ears more than your mouth. I mean, not just in terms of work. Use your ears. Listen. What's on the market? What does the market want? Because there's no use selling them something that they don't want. Listen more than you talk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll learn more if you listen.
So look at the trends.
Look at who your target client is, right?
Yep.
See what he wants. Listen to what he wants.
Yep.
Rather than go and sell him something he doesn't need.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
I could sell you a photo shoot, but you don't need one, right? And I can talk for an hour and tell you how we've got the best cameras, we've got the best lights and all that. We can make you look like a superstar and all.
Yeah.
You're not in the market for that, so I'm wasting my time.
No, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very sage advice, right? Like, it's all about supply and demand, right? And yeah, like, if someone needs, right, desires and wants what you are actually providing, then there will be opportunities, for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so where can our readers and listeners actually find you?
They can go to our website. It's called Two Monkeys Agency.
Yes.
Yeah. It just gives you a bit of info about us, and there's a contact us. You can contact us there.
Yes.
Or they can call you. You know how to get in touch with me.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's perfect. Yeah. No, really good. Well, thank you so much, Kelvin.
No worries.
Like, it's been a pleasure having you on. And as I mentioned, right, I actually really do mean it. Right, definitely second episode if you're up for it, right?
Yeah,
so let me know. But to all our listeners, right, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have. Right, stay tuned to our next episodes coming up, and remember to always live life your way, always. So my name is Cheech, and I'll speak to you soon. Right, see you. Bye.